Good day to all of you dear students. My name is Miss Mehala. I'll be sharing with you one of the most important technique that you need to apply when answering 0500 First Language English Paper 2 question number 1 extended response. Now the tip that I'm talking about, or the techniques that I'm talking about now, is the use of PDD, point, detail and development. Many students fail to apply this PDD technique when they answer the extended response question. But before that, let me just go through with you some of the important tips when answering this question. Now, first of all, you need to remember to use the bullet points, all the 3 bullet points. That means you need to basically give equal amounts of answer and explanation for each bullet point. That means your bullet points should have equal number of points. Let's say that you go to maximum 5 points for each bullet point. That means in total you need to produce at least 15 overall points which are developed using the details from the text. So you need to also know that whatever details that you use from the reading insert, from the reading text, passage A, must be relevant to the question. And apart from that, don't forget to develop your idea. So this is where students lose marks, whereby they just take all the details from the text without forming main idea and failure in developing the main idea. So you need to also remember that you need to use your own words. Just by copying a big chunk from the original text will not help you to gain good marks. So I'll be sharing with you an example of past year paper question taken from this year 2019 May June. So I'll be sharing with you the reading insert. At the same time, I'll be straight away going to the marking scheme so that you can look at what do I mean by point, detail and develop. Now I want you to focus on this question. So this is taken from this year, May June 2019, paper 2. Now this is the question. You are required to write a magazine article based on a reading insert titled Night Blooming Jasmine. So you are a journalist writing an article for a monthly music magazine. So you were at the gig in the park, and at the party afterwards and interviewed band members and some of their audience. So when the question requires when the question mentioned the word interview, that means you are required to give your reference because it is a magazine article. So it's very important for the candidate to provide a direct reference. That means this reference can be written as a direct a direct quote, or a reported speech given by the one of the members of the band, for an example. So when looking at this question, I don't want to go through the other bullet points because I want to highlight more on the PDD. So let's look at the first bullet point. In your magazine article, you should explain who the band are, their style and the history of the band. So I'll just straight away go to the sample marking scheme here. So when you look at the marking scheme here, these are some of the responses might use the following ideas. So look at the first point here, old and retired. And obviously this old and retired are taken from the detail from the text which is a formed group late in life. So this is the detail from the text, and the candidate need to convert the detail using the main idea, which is old and retired, and then need to develop the point. So I give you another simple example here. When you look at the third bullet point here, okay, now the details are they wear white belts, they wear trousers pulled up high, they wear bow ties, and they have serious mustaches, and also they have cool names. All these are the details taken from the original text, and from this detail the candidate must be smart enough to think the main idea. That means all this comes under the idea of personality of this band members, their image. So their image and personality must be the main idea, and whatever details that I mentioned just now these can be the examples, and based on this point and examples, the candidate needs to come up with a developed idea. For an example, so their image, their personality, wearing white belts, trousers pulled up high, and obviously how do you develop the points? You can just say that this is a cliche style of people who are in this jazz genre, and retro old style fashion, and it's quite out to date. So all these are the developed points based on the details which you have created, the main idea, and then the developed idea. I can also give you another example. For an example, like here, the details, they only use mic when they performed, and obviously there were no special effect. So these are the details taken from the text. So based on that, you create the main idea. For an example, you can just say that they are the skilled musicians. And how do you develop it? So most probably you can say they are authentic, or you can talk about that they have extra ability to produce something which is extraordinary. So this, what do I mean by point, detail, and development? I hope that this important technique will be very helpful when you answer your extended response question in your paper 2 0500 first language English. Thank you very much.